You're so smart. Your Smartness Award. You get a ribbon that says you're smart at watching movies because you know that Tej and Roman in a car in space couldn't actually happen. Good for fucking you. The stick that is in your ass will be promptly reinserted tomorrow morning when you wake up then, and you can tell me how Indiana Jones in the fridge is also fucking stupid. Fuck you.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hunting with Keith. Now, today we have trespassed into Cedar Park. A few months ago, my brother Heath was killed by El Chupacabra, but I have tracked him down to this location, and we are going to take him out today. Today's weapon of choice is I will be killing the El Chupacabra with my bare hands.
Heath, where's your gun at?
I'll tell you where the guns are. All the guns you gonna need are right here.
No, but for real, Heath, where's your gun at?
Okay, listen, cut the fucking camera. I forgot the guns, okay? I forgot the guns.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't humiliate you.
Fine. All right. Anyways, let's get on hunting. It's beautiful out here. You know what? I loved it. Heath would have loved it. Heath would have loved it out here. Hey, don't cut the camera. I can't let him see me right like this.
Hey, look, man, I'm sorry about Heath. Okay. We all miss Heath.
Yeah, we all do miss Heath. Okay.
Heath was a good man.
He was.
Do it for Heath. Keith, don't cry.
Heath, don't cry. A man of nature. The way it should be. Let's keep going. Got ourselves an opening up here.
You both are trespassing on my mother's property.
This one's for Heath, you pumpkin-headed bitch. You want some more?
Stick his ass, Keith. Oh. Yeah, get him. No, Keith, you gotta watch the shit. Oh, shit, Keith.
No.
Keith. Oh, Keith, don't tap out.
I would never
Keith,
tap.
Heath wouldn't tap
Heath
out.
would never tap.
Keith, don't you dare tap out. Come on. No, you're doing it. No, son of a bitch. Oh, Keith. Keith. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, 1 second. I'm just a cameraman. He just pays me to do this, man. Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Real quick, did you guys know that Vlasic dill pickles, or I assume this applies to all pickles. I eat a lot of pickles. It's like one of my favorite snacks. Orphanages have so many pickles in them. Growing up in an orphanage, this was like the one thing I could get away with eating late at night that nobody would seem to know. Nobody ever notices how many pickles are in a jar. So you can eat one a night, and as long as the pickle count is like slowly going down, no one notices that they're going down. And I'm very picky about pickles. Like if they're little tiny, like those like plump ones, they look like turds, and they're like really sweet. Blech, don't like them. Sliced pickle chips that go on like burgers, love those. But these, there's no way to eat these other than just eating it as itself. You can't put this with something else and eat it with that. These don't go on anything. I'm sure some psychopath is probably like, you can put them on your hot dog. No, I'm not putting this in my hot dog. I'm going to eat this. I didn't know until just tonight that pickles have 0 calories per serving. 0? Like, normally anything that's remotely delicious is like, there's something fucking wrong with it. But yeah, I could eat these, nothing but these, and probably just lose so much weight. I'd probably die. But I would die happy. I think my mic is working. My mic has been weird lately.
Is this picking up any audio at all?
I think I just hit you guys with a Dutch angle. I am so sorry. Who the f do I think I am? John Travolta? Directing Battlefield Earth? Absolutely not. God damn it. Tripod has like a trigger on the back of it. Like a gun. And you have to like fuck with that to make the, I don't know, the neck move. I decided to record this episode of Dante's Drive-In down here. The real reason is I was already sitting down and my back is fucking super hurt. And so I was like, well, you know, fuck it, I'll just set the thing up here, give you guys a different background for once. Last time on Dante's Drive-In, we talked about the Annabelle trilogy, and that video was way too long, so I'm going to try and keep this one a bit more concise, but I also want to give you guys some sexy content to dig your teeth into while I try and get more episodes of the Dante Graves Show proper actually developed. I could not for the life of me think of a single movie that I wanted to just talk about in great length. I just couldn't think of a single fucking one that I felt like warranted a valid full episode. So in my genius level fucking content creator brain, I had this brilliant spark. It was like Doc Brown falling off the toilet seat and hitting his head and coming up with the idea for the flux capacitor. It's equivalent to that. And that's that what if I don't talk about one movie, I talk about several movies. Specifically, movies that I all watched within like the last month or so. As of this time of recording, it is July something at 11:36 p.m. I don't know what the actual time is, or what the actual date is. I know what the time is, I just looked at it, but I don't know what the actual date. Like over June, these are all films I watched during that time. I probably forgot some, but these are just the ones that I wanted to talk about the most. So for the idea of this episode, I would like to do this more often, but it's just movies that I saw that I had some sort of opinion on that I wanted to talk about, but then also ones I just wanted to recommend, or ones that I had something to say, or ones that I wanted to tell you to stay away from. Not that I really am in that business. If I see something very bad and I need to tell somebody because I don't want anyone involved in said production to have their movie viewed because I'm a sick weirdo, then I will do that. Or if they are sick weirdos and genuinely nobody should view their movie, I will let you know. Because it was the 4th of July very recently, a movie that I had never seen that I wanted to see, because it's like, okay, when you got slasher movies, Halloween, you gotta go with Halloween. I think I even made, almost to the day, this exact rant when I was doing the Jaws of the Revenge video a year ago. When it's Halloween, you gotta go with Halloween. When it's Christmas, you gotta go with Silent Night, Deadly Night. When it's Leprechaun, or what... Leprechaun. When it's Leprechaun Day, when it's fucking St. Patrick's Day, you gotta go with Leprechaun, because it's Leprechaun Day, motherfucker. Valentine's Day, it's gonna be My Bloody Valentine, or I do recommend Valentine. Pretty solid film. The 3 really outlier holidays, at least if you're in the US, is Easter, Thanksgiving, and 4th of July. For Thanksgiving, there's not really a go-to like Thanksgiving themed slasher film. We've basically just got Blood Rage, which... Never seen that one, sorry. In Easter, there's nothing. There's nothing. We have Critters 2, but there's no slasher film, okay? There's no Easter-themed slasher films. There's one segment of that movie Holidays, which was hot shit. That segment was the best part of that movie, and it was not even a slasher film. Like I said, it was a 5-minute short film surrounded by a bunch of other terrible short films. 4th of July, really your options are Jaws or Independence Day if you want to watch a 4th of July themed movie. I'm sure there's other ones. Those are just the first 2 that came to mind. But when it comes to slasher films, I was not aware until several years ago that there actually is a 4th of July tinged slasher film called Uncle Sam, and I'm gonna tell you what I thought about it. This movie, it was boring. Holy shit, I just so badly wanted to get into this movie. I'm gonna give it another chance, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I watched 45 minutes of the movie, and I was like, this is it. This is the best you got. Kills were lackluster, pathetic even. Not a single likable character to be found. The titular Uncle Sam does not appear in said Uncle Sam garb until like 35 minutes in, and it takes like another 45 minutes for him to kill anybody. The movie just plods along at this fucking sluggish snail's pace. It holds on every conversation way too long, way too many pauses in between. It's got a weird, mean-spirited, fucking ultra-fascist underpinning message. There's this little fucking bootlicker twerp. The little main kid in the movie, he's fucking, oh my god, he loves G.I. Joes, and so he wants to be just like his Uncle Sam and go die in the army, and if you don't want to die in the army, then you're a coward, and he was just fucking annoying. No, look, dude, I get it. I like G.I. Joes. I got G.I. Joes right there, okay? But I'm not a fucking bootlicker while I'm at it. This kid was a bootlicker. He's the definition of it. He just fucking fetishizes the shit out of the army because his Uncle Sam was in the army. And then his Uncle Sam turns out to be a zombie. Now, this film was directed by William Lustig. I don't think he wrote it. William Lustig, if I'm not mistaken, did Maniac Cop? I have to fact check myself on this, because if I'm wrong about this, I'll probably kill myself. Okay, yeah. He did Maniac Cop, Maniac Cop 2, I guess Maniac Cop 3, and also Maniac. He's just all about maniacs. So this film, he did a maniac that was dressed like Uncle Sam. Not one of his better movies. I have no idea who the fuck watched the thing and decided that the pacing was fine. It's crushingly slow-paced. And also, objectively, Halloween and Christmas and Valentine's Day just make better settings for slasher films than the 4th of July. This movie did a good job at making the whole thing really feel like the 4th. I mean, they've got presidents and American flags and the little tiny American flags and fireworks and Uncle Sam. Like, they did everything they could to really have that aesthetic of the holiday throughout the movie, but it just was very boring. And when that's like the only thing I can come out of your movie thinking was, oh, it was kind of boring, that's a problem, especially for a slasher film. I need to see some sex. I need to see some killing. I need to see some ridiculous side characters that then also die, or have sex and then die. With a slasher film, you gotta keep things moving along, okay? You don't have time to have somebody's boring ass origin story. It's all dialogue, it's all boring, it's all set up for something that I'm sure would have gotten capitalized later, but I ended up turning it off. I just wanted to bring up that I did attempt to watch it, but I turned it off in favor of a different movie, a movie that we're about to talk about right now, and that movie was Fear Street 1994. This was a Netflix film. It's the first part of a trilogy of films that they're going to be doing over the next couple weeks. I'll probably talk about the other two, but I want to talk about this first one. I really liked the Fear Street books when I was younger. I used to steal them from the public library, and I would bring them back sometimes. Unless I really liked them, then I would keep them. And I have no idea where any of those books went, so I guess I stole them for like no reason. I grew up with Goosebumps, and then it was like I graduated up to Fear Street, and Goosebumps left a more lasting impression in my memory than Fear Street did, but either way, I did have Fear Street books, and I did enjoy them. This movie has very little to do with any of the source material from any of the books, and that's fine. However, what I was talking about Uncle Sam, how it was like really, really slow, and it had some serious pacing issues, and it just was like struggling to hold my attention. Fear Street is the exact opposite of the spectrum so far that it's like similar problems. It's alarming to me the amount of horror films now that just demand your attention. Like they're just fucking slapping you over the fucking face. ADD riddled editing, just like, hey, pay attention, go, get more stuff, colors, sounds, music, killing, sex, just go, 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 like just trying to fucking demand me to sit there. It's like, please, please, I know you're on a streaming service and you can watch a million other things, but please, please stay and watch our one movie, please. I'm begging you, get more shit in here, more people, more sound, more music, more killing.
2 seconds, no more than 2 seconds on a single shot before you have to make another cut to another shot. Fuck, keep going, Christ, please don't click off our fucking movie.
Christ! Give me a minute to breathe. Fuck. It was so nauseating. And I think I'm the only person that thinks this. I wasn't high. I wasn't drunk. I was not inebriated in any fashion. But it took me a lot to adjust to the fucking fanatical fucking pace of this movie. It was just all over the place. Not even just in its editing. The editing was a big thing. But in its usage of colors, which I did like, but it almost contributed to how sick I felt the first like 10 minutes of the movie, because it was just like I started counting like 1, 2, cut, 1, 2, 3, cut, 1, cut, 1, 2, 3, cut. It was just so like boom, 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 all around the place. And it wasn't in like a Edgar Wright Cornetto trilogy way. It just was so piss scared that a teenage girl was gonna click on this with her fucking boyfriend. And they were gonna watch this and they were gonna get bored and click off onto something else. So they were throwing in fucking 9 Inch Nails, Rob Zombie, Iron Maiden, anything that was popular in 1994, I assume. I mean, I'm a fan of all this music, but it's like, fuck, they'd play like 2 seconds of one song and click into go into another song, and they would kick in for seemingly no reason. There was hip-hop music, metal, grunge, pop. It was just fucking go, 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 and it was like, it felt like fucking Suicide Squad. How, like, just, it was cut, 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 cut. Is there even a plot to this fucking movie? And just like Suicide Squad, the answer is, but more, there was a plot. It's just the way that we get from point A to point B in this movie has a whole fucking miniature alphabet that they tell you all at once in between each letter. It kept introducing ideas and getting rid of ideas and throwing new ideas at you and forgetting that they did it and then bringing it back and then continuing with some, but some are setting it up for the other 2 movies that are coming out. And it's like, it's difficult to criticize any of the decisions because it is part of a trilogy, but at the same time, a lot of it just was super, super fucking sloppy. There's parts where it's like, oh, the killers are coming after one girl and we have to save her. Oh shit, that didn't work. What if we let them kill her? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And it's this big fucking tragic scene because she's gonna sacrifice herself and she goes out there and they're gonna kill her, but then they're like, wait, I have an idea. We're gonna fucking not let him do that because I have another plan of how to fucking let her live. So they go get her and they bring her back 2 seconds before the killer kills her. And then she's like, what's going on? And they're like, well, we're not gonna let him kill you. We have a new plan. Oh shit, never mind. We have to let you die so that you cannot then die at the hands of the killer. So now we have to go find a way to make you die, but let us bring you back, so you're gonna take these pills. Oh shit, the pills aren't working. So let's drown her and then fucking give her an EpiPen, but she's still got all the drugs in her system, but I guess she puked them out. But everyone's dead anyways, and the whole point of getting her to not fucking the whole point of letting her die was so that we didn't have to die, but now we're gonna die in the process of changing our minds to save her. It was just fucking all over the goddamn place. I will admit, it is an intensely watchable movie. I couldn't stop watching it, but I was astounded by the amount of just shit being thrown at me. It was exhausting, and I had a really good time, and I recommend it, and I will be watching the sequels. Because at the end of the day, the reason that all these things were upsetting me when I was watching it, when I was like, why is it like this? Why is it fucking look like this? Because they had this huge production on it. The music and the lights and the actors were all pretty good. Some people were no, but a lot of them were good. Characters were likable, and there was passion behind the camera. So I was like, why are these little issues in the editing and the script just going by? It's like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit if the plot makes sense or not? Just fuck it. Whatever. We've got 2 other ones to make.
Get it out there. Let's go. Make the fucking movie. Watch the movie. Click on the next one next week and watch that one too, you piece of shit.
That's how that movie felt. And it had, yet again, nothing to do with R.L. Stine's Fear Street, but I recommend it. The other thing, I'm gonna say it real quick because I got 15 seconds left. It was very much like Scream, and I think that was intentional, but it was incredibly derivative of a lot of things, especially Scream though, and I just wanted to say that before moving on to our next movie.
Arco Iris, my most valuable creation. After careful recalculation, my brilliant scientific mind has modified you. There is a statistical improbability of failure this time. You are smarter, stronger, faster, more lethal.
I feel energized.
I have programmed your fresh brain with a host of new martial arts abilities and weapons loadouts, as well as taking the most useful memories from your last counterpart to make your brain all around more adaptable to this new assignment. Now, let's see what you've learned.
Next movie is going to be Vicious Fun, a Shudder original, to my knowledge. It's on Shudder. So if you want to watch it, get Shudder. If you don't have Shudder and you claim to be a horror fan, I got news for you, buddy. You're not a horror fan, because Shudder is the best streaming service that you can get if you are a horror fan. I'm not paid by them. I would love to be, because I use their streaming service every fucking day. It's the best streaming service. You've got original content on there that's kick-ass. You've got fucking exclusives that are on there that are kick-ass. You've got shows that I actually watch when I don't even watch shows. You got Joe Bob fucking Briggs on there. Extensive library of other shit that they bring on there. So whenever someone comes up to me, I have friends that are like this. They're like, yo, you fucking watch horror movies. What's a good one on Netflix that's really good? I'm like, Fear Street 1994. Immediately after that, they're like, well, I watched that one. What's another one? I'm like, dude, I can't help you. It's Netflix. You're basically going to the fucking public library looking for something good to rent on a good adult R-rated action film at the public fucking library. You know what we got at the public library? Arthur's Christmas. We don't have shit. We're the fucking public library. But on Shudder, you're going to fucking Blockbuster Video. You're going to Hollywood Video. You're going to Hollywood Video after Resident Evil 4 just came out on GameCube. Ugh! We got fucking Vicious Fun. Vicious Fun is all the things I like about Fear Street 1994. The color, the cinematography, the music, except it's all original in-house music or other artists that I have yet to hear of. It's not like big fucking conglomerate corporate albums that have been existing for years. It's like great fucking awesome synthwave that a lot of fucking work was put into. Just a kick-ass soundtrack. Great cinematography. A lot of fucking synthetic fog. I love the way it looks. Bright, vibrant, popping colors. It's just so appealing to look at. But it doesn't have that fucking frenetic, flashy fucking ADD. Please pay attention to us teenage children. Please don't click off and watch fucking The Office. It's just great. It's so good. But also what it has is the best fucking screenplay you've seen in your goddamn life in the last fucking year, probably. I don't know. It's really good. I really recommend it. The movie's basically about a guy who, oh my god, he was such a cutie. I loved him. And he was so funny. He's destined for great things. I looked into him because I'm like, what else has this guy done? To my knowledge, not anything huge, but he's destined for great things. Basically, he is a horror film critic. So he's the bottom of the fucking barrel. He's a scumbag. He's a fucking dirtbag, basically. And on top of that, he's obsessed with his fucking roommate, who's a girl, and she's with this guy that he doesn't like, so he starts stalking the guy to, like, find out any dirt on him to get her to break up with him so she'll go out with him instead. Very fucking weird behavior. And he ends up, by a series of contrivances, accidentally showing up at a serial killer's anonymous group. Now, I thought that sounded kind of dull. I was like, well, that sounds fun. You know, that'll be disposable. I put it on with some friends. Within, like, 2 minutes, we immediately recognized that the movie was exceptionally well directed, acted, edited, produced, fucking scored. Especially, I cannot stress enough, the music in this movie. Fuck. If my biggest complaint about your movie is that your music is not on an original LP afterwards, if I cannot immediately listen to that fucking killer-ass soundtrack again in an isolated form, that's a fucking mark of a great soundtrack, and also a very fun criticism to have, because it's like, okay, that's the worst thing I can say. The rest of everything else must be kick-ass, and that is true. This movie's awesome. Every killer here has this different gimmick, and they have different body counts and different personalities, and they're from different parts of the world and different, you know, it's very interesting stuff. One guy's like a cannibal samurai, the other guy's like a big fucking dumb mechanic dude. He's like the Jason Voorhees type guy. There's this, you know, crazy doctor guy who's like, oh, like glasses and notepad doing numbers and calculations, and he's like secretly a fucking clown, John Wayne Gacy type thing. And I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but the thing I was most happy about is that a lot of the movie does not take place in that actual Serial Killers Anonymous thing. It was interesting, and I was liking it, and I thought, like, okay, once we get to that point, the budget has ran out. It's now going to become an isolated movie, set in this one location. And then the movie kept throwing in new ideas, new characters, new allegiances, killing off certain characters I didn't think were gonna die, introducing a new villain who was so fucking good. He's the funniest, yet also most intimidating villain we've had in a long time. He's a fucking show stealer. And once he introduces himself into the movie, at first you're kind of put off by him, you're like, this is gonna get old quick. Nah, it doesn't. They continue to find ways to make him just unpredictable as shit. He's so good. He'd make a great Joker someday, honestly. And I fucking hate the Joker, but I think he would make a great Joker and I would enjoy his depiction of him. You go from bar, kitchen area, outside, police station, hospital, like they did alleyways. It's like Fear Street 1994. There's just all these new fucking locations for these like slasher type things to happen, and it's so much fucking fun. And the characters, the banter, it's so funny. They introduce new characters all the time for the purpose of killing them off that are so funny that when they do die at the hands of these villains, you're like, fuck, that character was so fucking funny that now I hate this villain even more and I want to see our heroes succeed against them because I liked the character they killed off. It's such easy, disposable slasher entertainment. I just can't recommend it enough. I had so much fun with it. I didn't want it to end. It's all the things that Fear Street 1994 does on an even bigger budget, done at a smaller level, except even better. Whoever did this movie, who directed it, the actors involved in it, everyone across the board was great. Lead actress in the movie, I forget the name of the character, but she's so awesome. And at the end of the movie, it sets up this great little partnership that I would like to see explored in a sequel. Like, legitimately, I was like, man, that was so much fun. I want to see more of these people. And when a movie stops and I'm just like, man, I loved all the characters in that movie. I want to watch this again just so I can spend more time with these people. I want to see a sequel so I can spend more time with these people. That is the sign of a movie that I'm going to remember for a very long time. I can't say the same thing about Fear Street 1994, even though I did have fun with that movie, like I said. But Vicious Fun, I think, has so much rewatch value. It's so much fun the first time, and then it's going to be even more fun the second time. So watch it. It's so good.
This place is a shithole. What is the mission, my master?
Oh god, I love it when you call me master.
Well, you programmed my brain to say it.
Oh come now, Arco, don't spoil the fun. Anyway, down to business. The last mission, Operation Pie Slice, was a near success. That bitch Cordelia LaFay has already resurrected Jack Carver into a new body, a more powerful incarnation than the previous one. You must bring me the head of this new Jack. Once I have it, I will be able to implant a slime manipulator chip into his brain, and I'll grow him a new body. This will give me full command over him to do my bidding.
Are there any leads?
1. Mr. Graves himself knows the location. Extract the necessary information from him. Killing him is optional.
Killing isn't mandatory this time?
If there is a rock in your shoe, you don't cut off your foot. You get rid of the rock. Mr. Graves is barely even a pebble compared to this operation. He needs only to be taught to stay in his rightful place. I believe he is ultimately harmless. However, in this deadly game of chess I am playing, there is a much more critical foe that we need to eliminate. Cordelia LaFay. She will never allow us to take her son from her while she's still alive. She must be terminated in order for this mission to be considered a success. This will be known as Operation Critical Strike. Your mission is as follows. 1. Extract Jack Carver's location from Dante graves by any means necessary. 2. Terminate Jack Carver and bring me back Jack Carver's head. 3. Eliminate any who get in your way. I will handle Cordelia myself.
What are in these drawers?
This is the residual cloning juices from you and your previous counterparts, color-coded respectively. Don't touch. It's highly acidic. Now go. I trust you know what happens should you fail.
Yes, master.
Before we get to the main event picture, which is going to be Fast and Furious 9, I want to talk about One Cut of the Dead. Because the whole point of this is not just newer movies, which Uncle Sam came out in like 1996 or some shit, but also just movies that I missed over or that a lot of people knew about, but I just recently got to see that I want more people to see. A lot of people have seen One Cut of the Dead. I'm going to be incredibly fucking vague about it. One Cut of the Dead is one of the best movies I've seen in fucking forever. This movie made my day the day that I watched it. I was in love with the movie. I was in love with the cast and everyone involved with the movie. I think all of you deserve special blue ribbons with a little gold inscription saying how good at making movies you are. I want everyone in this involved in the production of this film to get a fucking delicious ice cream cake about that big around delivered to their home just for them with icing that spells out, you are fucking awesome at making movies. This movie touched me in places I've never been touched by a movie. I never have related to the material within a movie so hard and been so moved when I just went in blind and thinking it was a zombie comedy film. I don't want to spoil it. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But the first 45 minutes of the movie is a one-take zombie comedy film about people trying to make a movie and zombies are attacking them during it. That film concludes and credits roll, and after the credits, the real movie starts. And it was one of the most interesting subversions I've ever fucking seen. Because the whole thing about subverting someone's expectations is you have to give them something that they didn't know they wanted. Okay? If you're Ryan Johnson, I say, man, I could really go for a grilled cheese sandwich. And he wants to subvert my expectations. So he delivers me a sandwich that on the outside appears to be a delicious, scrumptious, delectable, buttery grilled cheese sandwich. And what is actually contained within the bread is a bunch of dog shit and broken glass. So not only is it going to cut the fuck out of my mouth and tongue, it's going to lacerate the inside of my mouth, and it's going to fill the cuts with dog shit, and I'm going to die. As I'm eating it, I'm like, oh, thanks, Ryan. I didn't expect this. And I'm like, wow, he subverted my expectations. Fuck that guy. That was fucking terrible. But if you're whoever made this movie, I say, man, name of director. I would love a grilled cheese sandwich. Please, I'm starving. I'm going to die if I don't eat. And he says, no problem, coming right up. He goes back there, he whips up a fucking delicious sandwich, gives it to me, and on the outside, it appears to be a delectable, succulent grilled cheese sandwich, but what is actually contained within it, that's just a holographic front. The sandwich, while it appears to be this big, is actually about this big, and it's a delicious fucking triple cheese Philly cheesesteak sandwich cooked by fucking Rocky Balboa himself. Okay? And this man's from Philly. Rocky Balboa is. He knows how to make a fucking Philly steak sandwich. And this sandwich is so good it makes me fucking cry. And when my only complaint is I want to watch it immediately again afterwards, but I have to go to work after. So I'm going to have to wait and watch it again later. That's my biggest complaint with your movie, or your Philly cheesesteak sandwich that this man delivered to me. You've subverted my expectations in a way that I didn't know was possible, and I love you for it. And I want to be so fucking vague because I love this movie to death. It's one of my favorite movies ever made now. And I want everyone to see it blind, not knowing what it's about. Because as a filmmaker, this movie was just pure bliss and joy and overpowering happiness. A movie has never made me this happy. It was just so fucking like touching, and I was weeping tears of fucking joy by the end of this movie, and I was like, thank you, whoever made this movie. You are my fucking hero. So please, watch One Cut of the Dead. Now, let's talk about Fast and the Furious 9.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm shampooing all the carpets in here. Get all that blood out of them, you know what I mean, Dave? Messy, messy, messy. God damn it. You can't have guests over when the fucking carpet's all soapy and shit. Hey, Dave, watch out for that carpet, okay? Let's see who it could be. Oh, shit!
Tell me what Jack Carver is.
What? You think you could just bust into my house and I'm gonna tell you whatever you want to know? Yo, okay, fuck you, lady. Okay, if I tell you, will you let me go?
Yes.
Okay, Jack Carver lives at Cedar Park with the rest of the Carver Collective.
How many are part of the collective?
4. Last time I checked, there's Oswald, Jack's mom, Cordelia the witch, and Dr. Arachnoid. I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh, have you ever been hitting that so hard you could throw up? Oh. Fast and Furious 9. I've got about 7 minutes, and I don't want to go beyond that, so I'm going to try and make it real quick. This is going to come as a shock to some of you, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Fast and the Furious films. I like the first 7 of them a lot, and I really enjoy the 8th one as well. They're just films I've grown up with. And the 9th film I was very concerned about, because I heard some mixed things about pertaining to how ridiculous the movie got, to how preposterous the plot is, to the acting, to the whatever, and Hobbs and Shaw didn't really do it for me. So because of all of the negative word of mouth, I went in with pretty low expectations, because I felt like, okay, this is probably the time that these movies are going to just outstay their welcome with me, and that seems to be the opinion I got from a lot of people. There's a lot of people I'm friends with, they're like, yeah man, Fast and Furious 1 through 8, they're alright. But the 9th one, that's too many times. My limit was 8. 9, can't do it. Can't make that one, brother. You know, they're going to space. They're going to space. Like, space. Lamborghinis defeating submarines and airplanes. That's whatever. But space, please. Nobody's gone to space in real life, but people have defeated submarines with Lamborghinis before. That's fine, but space is too far-fetched. So I was getting really defensive. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking asshole. What, I bet you're also a fan of fucking... I bet you're also pissed about Indiana Jones living through a fucking refrigerator nuclear explosion, whatever. Everyone bitched and moaned about that, and the same fucking idiots that were mad about that go see Fast and Furious 12 or whatever, when Vin Diesel fucking survives a
avalanche on a bicycle, and they're like, oh, that's fine. Oh, but they're going to space? I draw the line. That's enough, Fast and the Furious. You don't get to go to space. So I went to go see the movie with low expectations, is what I'm trying to say. And this movie didn't pleasantly surprise me. It just pleasantly gave me a movie that I didn't hate. It's definitely not my favorite Fast and the Furious film, but it's just fine with the rest of them. I don't have anything special to say about it, other than I enjoyed it about as much as I enjoyed the 8th one. I think my biggest issue with it was really that Vin Diesel's character, I don't think Vin Diesel's a terrible actor. I think in the 8th one, he really showed that he's got more range. The 7th one, for sure. This one, he just felt like he didn't have much to do, which is weird because he has the most poignant arc in the whole film. And he just felt like he just really didn't care to be there. He's doing like crazy stunts, and a lot of times I've always defended the insanity of these movies because everyone involved treats it like a big deal. And so, like, it's like the Brendan Fraser effect, which is where you can show me a super fake Dwayne Johnson scorpion monster, but as long as Brendan Fraser is showing me with his acting that he believes that there is a Dwayne Johnson PS1 graphic chasing him, I believe that there is a PS1 graphic Dwayne Johnson chasing after him. But if he's just kind of like Megan Foxing it, I don't believe it. And I like Megan Fox. She seems like a nice lady. She's very intelligent, okay? But she's not a good actress, and that's unfortunate, because I'm not a good actor. And so I know how that feels. Brendan Fraser is a great actor, and he's a beautiful man, and I want to suck his cock and have him inserted in my ass afterwards. And that's why I know he's good at acting in The Mummy Returns. What does all this have to do with Vin Diesel? Well, it has to do with the fact that when Vin Diesel's driving a car across a fucking ravine and Spider-Manning his fucking car with a rope across it, I can accept that as long as Vin Diesel's emotions when behind the wheel tell me that that's what he's doing. Then I can laugh at it and laugh at the commitment they had to putting that image on screen. A great example would be his reaction when doing the Lycan Hypersport jump through the buildings in Fast and Furious 7. This time, though, I did not believe that Vin Diesel was actually Spider-Manning a car across the ravine. I believed that Vin Diesel believed they were shooting that scene at that moment in time and was currently in a car in a green-screened, safe environment and doing it. He was just kind of like this the whole movie in terms of his acting. Everyone else I thought was doing a good job. The standouts of the movie are Tej and Roman, who get to go to space. And I really don't have much to say about the movie other than I enjoyed it, and I didn't think that the ridiculous, over-the-top action scenes really were as bad as everyone said they were. Sure, you become numb to it at a certain point, but I was still having fun with it. I want to say real quick before I get into the space thing, John Cena, that man is a pussy-ass, little whipped bitch, bootlicking cocksucker. Why don't you go suck some more cock, you fucking cocksucker? Not that there's anything wrong with it. I suck cock. But man, there's a difference between sucking cock and sucking cock, which is what John Cena does. Okay? Taiwan is a fucking country. All that being said, I actually really enjoyed him in this movie. I thought he did a good job. His character was interesting. I like villains that are based around a flaw or a failing in the main character. I always think that's interesting. But Tej and Roman go to space, and this is the big thing I want to talk about. Everyone really hammered on that part was dumb. That part is stupid. Everyone really hammered in that Tej and Roman, two comic relief black characters going to outer space in a car with a rocket on it, was dumb in a Fast and the Furious movie. And that was like the big takeaway I got from a lot of people. Well, that movie's dumb because they go to fucking space. Like, come on. Space? Space isn't real. They go do that. Yes, it happens in the movie. And it's not like, oh, they're in orbit, or oh, they fucking fly on a rocket car, and they joke about going to space. Like, no, they literally go to fucking outer space. And they're wearing space suits that they duct tape together, and they have fucking NOS in their car, and they're like driving a car in space. Here's the thing. I know that's dumb. However, I'm not so insecure in my own intelligence that I have to tell everyone around me that I know it's dumb. Because I trust in the human race that everyone else in this theater with me understood the stupidity of that scene. Because the characters in the film understand the stupidity in that scene. And it's not in the way of like,
Well, it's dumb, it's fucking goofy, it's just cheesy, ooh, popcorn movie. Wink, 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 we know it's dumb, we're in on the fucking joke.
It wasn't like that. It was in the way that, like, they knew it was dumb, and they were gonna, by God, commit to doing it, and make it the most poignant that they could, and in the most believable way that they could, that you could feasibly get with having a car in space on a rocket. And that's how all these movies go about it. It's like, yes, they're showing me a bunch of cars fight a submarine. So how do we do that and have it not come off like a fucking cartoon? Because yes, it obviously fucking does. No shit, Einstein. How do you do it, though? How do you show me that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Piranha Double D? You can show me a piranha go up a girl's vagina and a guy fuck her later and have his dick get bitten off by said piranha. You can show me it, but am I gonna believe it? Sure, with enough money, you can do it, but if all parties involved just act like they're humiliated to be there and nobody fucking gives a shit, I'm not shitting on Piranha Double D, I enjoy the movie. I'm saying, do you believe it, though? Fast and Furious 9, when they go to space, and Roman says to Tej, look at us. 2 guys from the ghetto in outer space in a fucking car. Nobody's gonna believe this shit. Okay? Because no one does believe it. Nobody bought this. Okay? Except me. Because my whole fucking life, I've gotten to see people that look like me, like white people, white male people, go to outer space in movies for dumber reasons than Tej and Roman went to outer space in this movie. And do dumber things. I've gotten to see it my whole life. Okay? So when 2 charming, sexy as hell, talented black guys get to shoot themselves into space with a rocket car that they built from the guys in Tokyo Drift, which somehow they got that shit. It's Fast and the Furious. Everyone has every ability ever. When they get to fly to space and have NOS and ram into a fucking satellite dish and just have that image put on screen, I watched the whole thing with a smile on my face. It felt good to have that happen. Because yes, it was a meme, but it was the utter commitment to that meme to show us and plant the seeds throughout the movie that built up to that moment. Like, yeah, we're doing it. You don't think this series will go to space? Fuck you. We're in space. What now? Suck my bald ass dick, Vin Diesel says. Suck my bald ass dick, Tyrese Gibson says. They went to fucking space. Good for you. Indiana Jones got in the fridge. Good for him. Indiana Jones jumped out of the plane with the fucking life raft. Good for him. Andy Samberg ramped the fucking buses. Good for him. Nicolas Cage ramped the fucking helicopters. Good for him. I don't give a fuck. It was awesome. These are incoherent, insane ramblings, but god damn it, I watched that whole scene with a smile on my face, and the fact that there are people that I know, they're gonna go see it and be like,
That's dumb, and because I can recognize that a car in space is dumb, that makes me smart.
Like, dude, you sound so fucking dumb when you tell me that a car with a rocket on it in space is dumb and not fucking awesome. And it's not that they did it, because anybody can do it. I can take a fucking car, I don't have a toy car. I got Hot Rod. I can take a toy car and put a rocket on it and put a fucking shitty green screen behind it and put it back there and just be like, oh, it's a car in space, is that cool? No, it's not fucking cool. It's the fact that they put that in a movie and committed to it and took it seriously. That's what makes it funny. Sharknado isn't fucking funny because everyone is just slapping you over the fucking head with how fucking stupid it is. They all know it's stupid and they're so embarrassed that they're just gonna be like, don't worry, we know it's dumb, don't make fun of us, we know it's stupid. It's like, and I've hammered on this point before, but it's like, you telling me that something that's obviously just meant to be fun is far-fetched or jumping the shark or too much. It's like, oh, boo fucking who. You're so smart. Your smartness award. You get a ribbon that says you're smart at watching movies because you know that Tej and Roman in a car in space couldn't actually happen. Good for fucking you. The stick that is in your ass will be promptly reinserted tomorrow morning when you wake up then, and you can tell me how Indiana Jones in the fridge is also fucking stupid. Fuck you. Oh, crap. I have a fucking headache. I don't even know what I'm talking about.